Hey everybody, how are you? Tim Tedester here, success strategist. Been a while since I've been with you. I've been spending a lot of time watching, noticing, getting a feel for what's been going on in our country and how it's affected all of us. As a business owner, I think and I feel for those people that have run into situations where, due to no fault of their own, are no longer running their business or are struggling, and their employees are struggling. And many times what happens is people get frustrated and they start to think things and start to have conversations with themselves where they start to doubt their abilities, and they don't know what they're going to do. The one thing I want to remind you of is that you are very, very powerful. We are all very powerful. And just because things are happening right now doesn't mean that we can't stem the tide and we can turn it around. I want to tell you a little story about something that happened years ago to kind of explain where many of us might be right now. All right. I was working with a group of other people as I volunteered for a personal development company. And the exercise that we were doing is we were going around in circles and we were listening to them tell a story. And then each of us were listening for things that we found to be great about them, to be good about them, to be something that we could say about them that was positive. And the idea behind that is that we wanted to support each of us in beginning to understand that what we think about ourselves isn't necessarily how other people see us. And we went around the room and we did that. And at the end, we started to realize that, hey, we actually do have some really great things about us. But the problem is oftentimes when things go bad or we get down on ourselves, we start to look at ourselves and have these conversations and say things, and then some of us kind of really go down in the rabbit hole, and some of us it kind of accelerates, and the next thing you know, we beat ourselves up and we're feeling bad, and we don't believe there's anything possibly good about us. All right. There was one gentleman, his name was John, and he was a homeless man. And we all went around the room and we listened to his story, and we all said some nice things about him as we listened to the story. And he came to me and I looked at him and I said, John, do you have any idea how amazing you are? Because he's telling stories through his life. He's an older gentleman. He's telling stories through his life where he traveled to Europe and he did this, and he was in the Marines, and he did all these amazing things in his life. And for whatever reason, something happened one day or at a point in his life where he got down on himself. And suddenly, in this moment, he was starting to understand that the story of him did not align with what he thought about himself. Because when I told him that, just how amazing he really was, how we saw him bigger than he saw himself, later that day, he had a pretty good day. And at the end of the night, he had a pretty good night. He said goodbye. And the next day, for the next day in class, he didn't come back. I tried to reach out to him, leave messages, nothing. And the only thing that I can think of is that somehow he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to hear those things about how great he really, truly was. And that's just like us. Oftentimes we get stuck. We don't know what it is we want to do. We beat ourselves up. We tell ourselves things. We create a new reality for ourselves. And we struggle to get out. However, with 2021 coming around, I want to remind you that just because things have happened to you this year, that doesn't mean we have to stay that way. It's time to move forward. All right. You might want to reach out for help. As a life coach, I help people to break away and break free from negative thoughts. And there's other coaches out there as well that can help you to do that as well. The one thing I want to remind you of is that you always want to reach out to somebody that has been or experienced a life in some way, shape, or form in the same way that you want to live that life. Meaning, you want what they've had or have. Okay? So as we move forward in 2021, I want you to take a step back and think about the things that you say to yourself. All right. Are you in a good space? Great. That's awesome. Keep going. All right. If you're beating yourself up and you're wondering what 2021 has to bring, is it going to be the same as 2020? You have to stop that language right now. You don't want to have those conversations. Reach out to somebody that can support you in shifting your energy, shifting the conversation. All right. That's what you want to do. All right. I'm out for now, and there'll be more later. Have a great day and have an amazing 2021. Thanks.